What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another full card breakdown. This is for UFC Vegas 96, Cannonier versus Borralho. Again, not another good, not really the greatest card in the world. It's definitely not a great card to bet. It's got 10 fights. It will have 11 once they get the Bantamweight Ultimate Fighter finale set. They will add that to it, I'm sure. So we'll end up with 11 fights, and I'll break that fight down later in the week. But first off, can everybody hit that like, subscribe button, leave a comment to help my algorithm if you can. I want to say this show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can go there and put in all kinds of different championship lineups and stuff like that. If you go there and use my promo code Blood Money, you'll get a deposit bonus up to $250 bonus on there. So they're opening up sports books too here in a couple states. So eventually it'll be all over the place. Check out my Twitter and my Patreon if you want to get my bets, all my early bets. And then I post all my bets on Twitter for free throughout the week of the fight week. And both of them links are going to be in the description if you want to go check that out and get extra content and all that stuff. And on Wednesday nights, check out me and Johnny K Picks Defend Your Unit show. That's when we go and give our best bet on each fight. We'll give out easy money parlays that hit like 8 weeks in a row or something like that, I believe now. So check us out Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. We're going to do a quick recap of UFC 305, and then we'll get right into this Vegas 96 card. UFC 305, my first card back in a while. I went 2 and 3 on my bets for minus 1.75 units, and I'm not very happy about it, to be honest. Winning bets, Tai Tuivasa over 1.5 rounds with Rosenstruck. That was plus 150. You know, got a little greasy there in the second round, but it was easy bet in the end. Second one was Song, Gamrot, Kanan Song with Gamrot and Hooker over 2.5, and that was also very greasy. Losing bets, Luana Santos. Yeah, man, she just couldn't get the wrestling going. I don't know if the short notice going to Australia hurt her a lot, but I don't know if she was going to win that fight regardless. And then I had Kanan Song parlay with Josh Kulabau, minus 1.75 units on that, and that was to win 2.25 units. And I thought Kulabau won that fight. He landed 50 more significant strikes. He did almost get choked out, and then almost landed a takedown in the third, but did no damage. It was crazy. And then the Tapa Walker over 1.5, which looked like the easiest 1.5 in the world. 4 seconds left in the first round with no action, and then a heel hook. So bad night to come back. If Kulabau would have got that nod like I thought, I would have won 2.25 units, and instead, you know, minus 1.75. So, oh man, you know, it is what it is. I guess they, you know, judges are going to judge, and it sucks, dude. It sucks. I already forgot about this feeling of just feeling like you kind of got robbed and stuff like that. But overall, you know, it was a pretty crazy card. I feel mad. I told my Patreon in my top 10 bets, I had Dricus Duplessis and Kai Kara France, and I didn't pull the trigger on them. And mad about that. I just kind of didn't want to bet no underdogs, you know, but I'm going to trust my gut from here on out. So that's what it's going to be. But let's get into this UFC Vegas 96 card where we're going to get some money back from last night. And the first fight on that card is going to be, let's see, Ryan Loder versus Robert Valentin, and this is from the Ultimate Fighter show. This is the finale in the middleweights. Ryan Loder's 6-1. He's currently sitting at like plus 130, 33 years old, 6'2". Robert Valentin is 10-3, 29 years old. He's currently sitting at minus 155, 6'2" at the 77-inch reach. And if you watched any of the show, Ryan Loder's a wrestler with pretty good decent striking. It's not terrible. It's serviceable, and he's got good wrestling. He's a D1 wrestler. He's got good wrestling. He's got good cardio. He's got good ground and pound. He's super tough, and he can grind and wrestle and put out the cardio for all 3 rounds. So that's very good. And he's dominant on the Contender Series or on the Ultimate Fighter 2. Robert Valentin was really dominant on the Contender Series, man. This kid is dangerous everywhere. He's dangerous standing. You've seen on the Ultimate Fighter. He's got really good Muay Thai. Landed a step and elbow and put the dude to sleep. And then in his second fight with a dude that's really tough, I think he'll be in the UFC, Paddy McCory. He'll be in the UFC eventually. He took some big shots, landed some big shots, and then was able to hit the judo throw in the submission. So he's super tough, super dangerous, man. So I'm going to go with Valentin here. Just because he's more dangerous anywhere the fight goes. He's going to have better striking with way more power, so he's going to be more dangerous on the feet. And then even if it goes to the ground, I think he's going to be dangerous. If he gets on top, he's definitely going to be dangerous with his submissions, even off his back. So I'm going to take Robert Valentin. He seems like a really good up-and-coming prospect. So Give me Valentin. Next fight is going to be in the women's flyweight division. We got Cong Wang versus Victoria Leonardo. Cong Wang is 5-0, 32 years old, 5'6" with the 66-inch reach. Victoria Leonardo is 9-5, 34 years old, 5'5" with the 64-inch reach. And Cong Wang's a beast, man. She's got a ton of professional kickboxing experience. She kickboxed Valentina Shevchenko back in the day, and won, unanimous. And then since then in her UFC or MMA career, she's looked phenomenal. She's got rear naked chokes, head kicks, decisions, mounted guillotines, where her forward pressure kickboxing is phenomenal. She's got excellent defense, excellent power in her kicks and her hands. She's constantly going for the finish, and her takedown defense, her clinch, everything checks out, man. She's very good with pretty good cardio. She got a win over Yanao Wu outside of the UFC, and that helped her get into it. But she's fighting Victoria Leonardo Fury, who's 9-5 with 5 finished losses. Victoria Leonardo is all right. She's got okay striking. She's got a decent cage clinch, and then she's got okay wrestling and grappling. But, at the UFC level, it just doesn't work. And then she does not take punches and damage very well. Natalia Silva was the last one to finish her with the punches and head kick in the first round, where hit her in the face and basically, Leonardo just turned her head and basically quit. Broke her arm to Gato. Manon Farot gave her the business. Here, I think Cong Wang is going to do the same thing. I'm not really sure why Victoria Leonardo is still in the UFC, but after this fight, she will not be. I'm going to take Cong Wang, and I'm going to say Cong Wang gives her 6th finish loss, and that's by TKO on the feet. Stops the takedowns, lands the bigger shots. Next fight is in the women's bantamweight division. We got Josiane Nunes versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Josiane Nunes is 10-2. 30 years old, 5'2" with the 67-inch reach. Cavalcanti is 6-1, 26 years old, 5'8" with the 70-inch reach. So you see Cavalcanti 6 inches taller with 3 inches of reach. Josiane Nunes is a brawler with serious power in both hands. She's super tough, durable. Doesn't have the best takedown defense, but she can survive on the ground. She's got cardio and very good toughness. She's just winging, powerful overhand. She's got good Muay Thai. She doesn't throw too many leg kicks. It's basically just power punches, overhands. She goes 100 miles per hour from the opening bell. I actually think that the smaller cage definitely favors her in this fight. But, she's a junkyard dog with good cardio that's basically just winging overhand rights and lefts and hooks. Jacqueline Cavalcanti, I'm pretty impressed with her striking. She's got really good striking. She's tall. She's big. She uses her distance well. She uses her kicks, and her jab is excellent. She's got, like I said, really good movement, hard to hit. You've seen against Zara Farron. She's got some good fights outside the UFC. She had a really close loss to Martina Jandarova, but she also has a win over Nora Cornell outside the UFC, which is a good win because, as we see, Cornell is a beast. But Cavalcanti can grapple. She can strike. She's got really good movement, really good cardio, really good toughness. This is like, if this was in the big cage, it'd be so much easier for Cavalcanti to get the win here, because she would be just constantly use her movement, catch Josiane Nunes when she's coming in with her burst, and catch her with that long jab. And I still think she's going to do that in this fight, but it's just going to be a lot tougher in that small cage. She's going to take a lot more damage, in my opinion. But I do think that she comes out with the win. I think she's way more technical striker. And I think she's going to be able to land some really good shots and not get finished by Nunes. Maybe even mix in some grappling. I have a feeling she'll land a takedown or two. And just a really good fighter. I'm pretty high on Cavalcanti. Next fight is in the men's lightweight division. We got Viacheslav Borshchev versus James Llontop. Slavaklaus is 7-4-1. 32 years old, 5'11" with the 69-inch reach. Llontop is 14-3, 25 years old, 6 foot with the 73-inch reach. So you see Llontop's 1 inch taller with 4 inches of reach. Viacheslav is a phenomenal kickboxer that can hit you hard with both hands, both feet. He's got really good counters, really good power. His problem is he has no takedown defense, and his chin's not that great. Like, he doesn't get knocked out, but he gets dropped in a ton of fights. He ends up surviving and then coming back and either making it a close fight like he did against Sadikov, where he ended up getting the draw out of that after he got 10-8 in the second round. And then he just got demolished by Chase Hooper, got dropped by him, and then just got outworked. But he does have phenomenal kickboxing. And if it's just going to be a striking match with somebody, he 1,000% has a great chance to win. Llontop, he's a decent striker, fighting out of Peru. He's on the Ultimate Fighter. Fought a dude that's not all that tough, but he put a lot of volume on him. He showed some pretty good takedown defense in the clinch of his own. Came in the UFC, and just lost lost and got choked out, looked terrible against Chris Padilla. On short notice, Padilla was, and he was able to just, one takedown, and Llontop just relaxed for 1 second and gave up the neck. Like he thought the round was over. I don't know what he was doing. That was pretty crazy, but he just gave up the choke out of nowhere. I think this fight stays standing. I don't think Llontop's going to be really able to take Borshchev down. He might get a little clinch. The fight's going to stay standing, and there I got to favor Borshchev a ton, man. He's going to be so much more technical. He hits way harder. But man, it's hard to trust Viacheslav. I'm picking Viacheslav to get the win. Llontop's pretty tough, so I don't know if Borshchev finishes him, but give me Borshchev, and just can't trust him. It's very hard to trust Slavoklas. Next fight's in the men's middleweight division. Another untrustworthy fight. We got Jose Medina versus Zach Reese, man, and I watched Zach Reese fight in Louisville, and he destroyed Julian Marquez. But Jose Medina, 33 years old, 6 foot with the 74.5-inch reach. He's 11-3. Zach Reese is 7-1, 30 years old, 6'4" with the 77-inch reach. So you see, Reese is gonna be 4 inches taller with 2.5 inches of reach. 3 years younger. Jose Medina, man, he is literally meat and potatoes fighter. You've seen him on the Contender Series where he took a beating but just didn't get finished by that tough-ass Russian Gadzi Azulov. That dude is a freaking beast. He's going to be in the UFC whooping some butt at some point. But he basically just beat the crap out of Medina. Medina survived, and Dana White gave him a contract. But he's super durable. He's very slow in striking. He's dropping down to middleweight for this. That might help him a little bit. Last time he's been fighting at light heavyweight most of his career, but he was, kind of fat and slow. But I still feel like at middleweight, he's going to be kind of fat and slow because it's just how he looks. But decent boxing, decent leg kicks. He wants to grapple, but, he doesn't have good takedowns. He's fought such low-level competition, That fight, that guy was 4-2. This guy was 11-22, 2-0. Them are the people he's fighting before he came in the UFC. Zach Reese is super dangerous, man. He's very, very tough. He throws punches and kicks from odd angles. He's got a sick uppercut. That's what he hit Julian Marquez with. He's finished all 7 of his fights, all in the first round, all under 4.5 minutes. His one loss was to Cody Brundage, where he got hit, kind of hurt a little bit. Brundage took him down. He put him in a sick triangle, and then Brundage slammed him on his head. But even on the Contender Series, he got hit and kind of dropped and hurt. The dude followed him to the ground, the one Jewish dude, and then he got him in the armbar, man. He's very dangerous on the feet and on the ground. This fight's tough to call, though, because, we haven't seen much out of Zach Reese. We've never seen him out of the first round, and we just seen Jose Medina take a serious beating from that big-ass Russian at 205 and not go nowhere. So if Zach Reese comes out here and gives him the same kind of beating, and then it goes past a round and a half, we don't know how Zach Reese is going to look. And if Medina's still there, it could get super ugly. But yeah, man, I'm still going to take Zach Reese. I cannot take Jose Medina, but I don't really feel comfortable. This fight card's about as bad as Vegas 95 with some untrustworthy stuff, man. And then the lines are out of control, just like they were at 305. So give me Zach Reese. He's finished all his fights in the first round, but maybe he does have the cardio to keep going. But I'm going to say Zach Reese by finish at some point. I'm going to say down at 185. Medina maybe loses a little bit of his durability, and Zach Reese is going to be way more faster and way more explosive. And he, with the submissions and the KO power, he should be able to get him out of there. Next fight should be a really good fight. It's in the men's featherweight division. We got Dennis Buzukja versus Danny Silva. Dennis Buzukja is 12-4, 26 years old, 5'9" with a 70.5-inch reach. Danny Silva is 9-1, 27 years old, 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. Dennis Buzukja, he's a decent fighter. He got a KO win in his last fight against Connor Matthews, where it was a back-and-forth fight, pretty good fight going into third. I thought Bazooka's winning. He ended up hitting him with a shot and then finishing Matthews. But other than that, man, he doesn't really finish anybody, and he doesn't really get finished. Rob Emmers was able to finish him, and that was the first person to finish him. And then, like I said, that KO win that he got right there was one of the first. Well, no, he did get these 6-4 and 7-7. But you see all these decisions. Anytime he would step up and fight decent people on the Contender Series or in the UFC, really, he got a decision. But he's got decent striking. He's got good durability, pretty good cardio. He doesn't really gas out too much. Decent offensive wrestling. He can be taken down, but he's got pretty good jiu-jitsu and pretty good scrambles. And like I said, he's got good cardio. So if people use that game plan on him, he can wear on him. But yeah, man, he's not really great anywhere, and that's why he usually loses to above average fighters. Danny Silva, man, I really like this kid's boxing. He's got serious power in both hands. He's got really big uppercuts. You've seen him drop Kulabau with the uppercut like in the first minute, man. Fucking Kulabau with your dumbass fight IQ. But anyways, I regress. But Kulabau, man. I cannot believe that. But anyways, all right. So Danny Silva does have serious boxing, serious power in both hands. He can switch stances. He goes hard in that first round. You see it against Angel Pacheco and Kulabau, and he can kind of slow down as the fight goes, but he fights through it. He had to use a lot of grappling against Kulabau in that second and third because Kulabau was kind of lighting him up on the feet, and he got a lot of clinch time. But in his one loss against Kanan Kwali, he was out grappled a lot in that fight, and it was a good close back and forth fight. And that for the record, that dude's good. That dude's good. He'll probably maybe eventually end up in the UFC. But very good boxing. He's got good, decent wrestling and decent jiu-jitsu. This is going to be a really good fight. I'm going to favor Danny Silva, but it's tough because Silva's going to come out and try to finish him in the first round like he does, and he'll probably hurt Buzukja a bunch. And then by the time that second and third round comes around, when Silva kind of starts slowing down, Buzukja may start taking over. So that's worrisome. But I'm taking Danny Silva. I'm actually really high on this kid and think he's super tough and could have a really good career in the UFC. So give me Danny Silva to beat Dennis Buzukja. And I'm going to say by decision, but he could get him out of there in that first round. It's very possible. Next fight is in the women's strawweight division. We have Angela Hill versus Tabatha Ricci. Angela Hill is 17 and 13, 39 years old, 5'3" at the 64.5-inch reach. Tabatha Ricci is 10 and 2, 29 years old, 5'1" with the 61-inch reach. So you'll see Hill's going to be 2 inches taller with 3.5 inches of reach. And Angela Hill, man, she's a very good, well-rounded fighter. She's got really good Muay Thai. She's got a strong clinch with excellent knees. She's improved her defensive grappling so much, man. It's crazy. Now she's got good takedown defense. She's got good takedowns of her own, pretty good jiu-jitsu. And like I said, the cardio checks out. When she used to lose her split decisions and lose all her close fights when she was younger, she would go out there and go real hard, hit him with the Muay Thai and do all that. And then she would slow down and get beat up in the third round. And then it would, the judges like to pick the person who won that third round for some reason. But she's very good. And she's been so much improved, even at 39 years old. She doesn't show no regression. She's got good cardio, excellent durability, excellent toughness. She's fought everybody in the game. And like I said, she's really good. Tabatha Ricci, her striking's improved a ton. Her striking looked really good against Pennington, formerly Torres. But I still thought Tisha Torres won that fight against her, Tisha Pennington. But it was still a good fight, and she showed way better striking than she did against Lupi Godinez. She's got pretty good wrestling. She's got good cage control, and she's got excellent black belt level BJJ. So this fight's tough to call because I got to favor Angela Hill in the striking, and then in the clinch where Ricci was able to get most of her winning time against Pennington, was holding her up against the cage in the clinch in the second round and a little bit of the third. I don't think she's going to be able to do that here against Angela Hill because Angela Hill is going to be bigger. Angela Hill uses them elbows and Muay Thai knees in the clinch to hurt girls and to the body up against the cage. So I don't think Ricci's going to be able to do that. I think Angela Hill's pretty much got her covered everywhere. I think she's going to have better striking. She's going to be bigger, which is going to hurt Ricci from landing them takedowns. I think if Ricci clinches her up against cage, Angela Hill's going to be using knees, reversing it, and keep it standing. You don't want to go to the ground with Tabatha Ricci, but I see Angela Hill pretty much winning this fight with her vet experience, size, toughness, cardio, everywhere it goes, So give me Angela Hill, and I'm going to say that she gets it done by decision. Like her last fight against Luana Pinheiro, kind of like the same fighter, but Pinheiro doesn't have as much heart and as good a striking as Ricci. But give me Angela Hill. I'm going to keep riding that Angela Hill train. Next fight is in the men's welterweight division. We got Michael Morales versus Neil Magney. Michael Morales is 16-0. He's currently like minus 600, 6 foot with the 79-inch reach. Neil Magney's 29-11, currently like plus 400, 37 years old, 6'3" with the 80-inch reach. And Michael Morales, man, he's got really good boxing. He's really long with the 77-inch reach or 79-inch reach. Excellent jab. He can switch stances. The only thing I don't like about him is he doesn't throw in combo. He kind of goes tit for tat with every single person that he fights. His last fight was really close with Jake Matthews. His other fight with Max Griffin was really close. The difference is he's able to turn it up in the third round on both of them guys and clearly win that. But it was like, it could be 29-28 or tied 19-19 going into the third round in both of them fights. Adam Fugit, that fight was 29 or 19-19 going into the third when he got the finish. So, he fights close with people, but he's very durable. He's got really good cardio, really good toughness, long punches. Like I said, excellent jab, good power in that right hand, and excellent takedown defense. He's got good offensive wrestling and defensive wrestling. Like he's got really good wrestling, and his jiu-jitsu seems to check out. And then he's just a big kid. He's super young at 25, and he seems to be improving every fight. He's already fought some pretty high-level guys in the UFC, and 16-0. And I think the UFC is working him up right. They didn't do him like, say, like Joe Piper, where you just come in your second fight, you're fighting Jack Hermanson. You know, that stuff don't make sense sometimes. But Neil Magney, consummate professional. He's been fighting forever. Big, tall, long dude. He's got okay striking. He's got really good striking durability. No submission defense, but he's got really good striking durability. You've seen it in like the Jeff Neal fight and even the Daniel Rodriguez fight. Mike Malott was able to beat him up on the ground a little bit, but he was able to come back and get that finish late in the third. That was crazy over Mike Malott. This should be a really good fight, though. Neil Magny's clinch is not going to work against Michael Morales. Also, yeah, that's the doorbell. Magney's clinch is not going to work against Michael Morales. Morales' wrestling is too good. He's too strong. Here's the reason. It's going to be a pretty close fight, but here's the reason I like Michael Morales a lot in this fight is because he's going to be able to land the boxing, the long strikes. He's going to have better striking than Neil Magny. And then when it comes to the third round, Morales isn't going to gas out like Malott and some of these other younger guys that Neil Magny's fought have. So I'm taking Michael Morales, and I'm going to go by decision because Neil Magny gets subbed a lot, but he doesn't really get knocked out. Like I know Ponzinibbio put him out back in the day, but other than that, he really doesn't just get knocked out cold. So, yeah, man, give me Michael Morales by decision. Next fight is in the men's middleweight division. We got Edmen Shahbazyan versus Gerald Meerschaert. Shahbazyan's 13-4, 26 years old, 6'2" at the 75-inch reach. Meerschaert is 36-17, 36 years old, 6'1" with the 77.5-inch reach. And Edmen Shahbazyan is a bad mofo for a round and a half. He's got excellent kickboxing, powerful head kicks, powerful leg kicks, powerful knees to the body, powerful knees to the head, and he can knock you out with either hand. He's got awesome, for the first round and a half, he's got awesome defensive takedowns. He's got good offensive wrestling. He's got good jiu-jitsu. And he's KO power. He's knocked out all 13 of his wins, and most of them are right in the first round, just like he did Dobson last fight. Gerald Meerschaert. I always call him Gerard Meerschaert because he looks like Gerald Butler. Or Gerard Butler. So I get that mixed up, but he kind of looks like younger Gerard Butler. But yeah, Gerald Meerschaert, decent striking, doesn't like to take a punch, can't really take a punch very well, but he's got decent striking. He's got decent wrestling. He's got bad defensive wrestling. He's got okay offensive wrestling. He's got really good jiu-jitsu, and he's a crazy, crazy, crazy jiu-jitsu guy in the third round. But, you know, he's been knocked out a ton. He's been finished 12 finished losses. You know, and that's not good. And when he fights these really, really explosive dudes, he tends to get finished. You've seen even Shavkat was able to hit him, knock him out standing up. Ian Heinisch was able to knock him out standing up. Piper murdered him. But, you know, he gets in some of these fights with dudes like Bruno Silva and them, but that was like the worst fight Bruno Silva ever had. He got knocked down a couple times by Mahmoud Muradov and ended up coming back and getting that win. But yeah, this is a tough one, man. I think this is gonna be tough for Gerald Meerschaert because Edmen's gonna be so much faster, so much more explosive, and usually Meerschaert's getting knocked out in that first round, like I said, by these explosive dudes. Let's see. Joe Piper knocked him out in the first round. Kamzat knocked him out in the first round. Ian Heinisch knocked him out in the first round. He got choked out by Jack Hermanson in the first round. So I'm going to say Edmen Shahbazyan, which is the craziest thing in the world is Edmen Shahbazyan's 26 years old. That's the craziest thing in MMA, dude, that kid's still only 26 years old. And we've seen all the fights. He's fought high level guys. Give me Shahbazyan to get the knockout win here. I actually do like him on this. And if he doesn't, then you take Gerald Meerschaert. You should just sprinkle it anyways. Gerald Meerschaert, third round submission. You know, if you bet as Edmen by KO, Gerald by third round submission. Either way, it goes under 2.5, I think. So we'll see. We'll see what the line is on that. Next fight is the main event. We got Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. We're gonna really see what Caio Borralho's about. And so far, you know, he's looked really good. And he's coming out of Fighting Nerds who are crazy. I think they're 15-0 in the UFC, their fights. Somebody was saying yesterday they're 14-0, and then Prates handled business last night. So Jared Cannonier, 17-7, 40 years old, 5'11" with the 77.5-inch reach. Borralho, 16-1, 31 years old, 6'1" with the 75-inch reach. And this was tough for me because, you know, it's very tough to fade these older, experienced guys that don't seem like they're falling off. Like Jared Cannonier to me is exactly like Angela Hill. Like, you know, he's a physical specimen. He's 40 years old, but he looks like a 27-year-old. He doesn't seem to be falling off in any aspect of MMA or cardio, his durability even. I mean, he did get stopped by Nasruddin Imavov in the last fight, but like he didn't even get stopped. You know, he was winning 2-1. He was going to be about 2-2 to go in the fifth if he could have survived, but Herzog was like, no. He's like, you're done, Cannonier, which was dumb because Cannonier was covering up and throwing back, but is what it is. But Cannonier is super tough, man. He's so well-rounded. He's got super long punches. He's got very long arms with very long punches. And he was hitting Nasruddin Imavov with a lot of them in the first 3 rounds. You seen what he did to Marvin Vettori, where he was able to put a beating on him, and he literally almost killed Vettori. Like, he hit him like he set the middleweight record for most strikes landed in that fight. And then he's got a win over Sean Strickland, dude, 5 rounds in the small cage, which isn't easy to do. So that's saying something. That was only, what, a little over a year and a half ago when he beat Strickland. So he's, 38 and a half when he did that. But he's very well-rounded. He's got real serious power in his hands. He's got powerful leg kicks. He's got excellent offensive wrestling, excellent defensive wrestling. You've seen him taking down Nasruddin Imavov and stopping Imavov's takedowns. And Imavov's got good wrestling. You never really see Cannonier just get out-wrestled. When he fought Jack Hermanson took him down in the first round, tried to choke him out, couldn't do it, came out in the second round a little slower, and Jared Cannonier hit him with some big shots and put him out. But then you got Caio Borralho, like I said, fighting nerds, badass, 16-1. Good wrestling, high-level jiu-jitsu, not really for finishing, but for controlling guys, taking their back and controlling them. And then he's got good striking, man. He can switch stances. When he goes in his left stance, he's throwing power leg kicks, and he throws a power left head kick. And then he also throws, when he's in southpaw, and then he's got that really stiff jab because he's right-handed. He said he turned solid. He said he does the switch stance when learned to fight southpaw because of Conor McGregor. But he looks good doing it, and he's super fast. I don't like that they're in the small cage for this because that doesn't favor Caio Borralho's style and the striking because he really, really, really likes to move. If you watch him fight Abus Magomedov and them, he's moving a ton. If you watch him fight Mikhail Olenjacek, though, that's what worries me is like he was getting beat up. He got beat up in the first round and then in the second round a little bit until he was able to land a takedown. He wasn't able to land a takedown in the first round on Olenjacek, but we know Olenjacek slows down in the second, and that's when he was able to land the takedown and finally get him out of there. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get, just like get Cannonier to the ground all that easy and take his back and control him for 5 rounds. Because I feel like when this fight's standing, Cannonier is going to be like, he's going to definitely have the striking advantage and power advantage, even though Caio Borralho does have really good striking. Just like last week, man, I'm picking these underdogs in the co-main and main, or at least in this, man. I'm taking Jared Cannonier. I think he's got the wrestling to keep it standing. Caio's never been 5 rounds. He's never been in the cage with anybody like Jared Cannonier. The closest would be like Abus Magomedov, but Cannonier puts that dude out by the second round for sure. I think Cannonier is going to land big shots on the feet, and when he does, I don't think Borralho, especially like I said, the small cage favors Cannonier, and Cannonier is going to be throwing shots for all 5 rounds, and I don't think Borralho is really going to be able to out-wrestle Cannonier that easy. So give me Jared Cannonier, and I think he could finish Borralho, to be honest. I really see him finishing him. I know people's going to give me crap and all that, but I'm taking Cannonier, man. I'm going to take Cannonier. I'm going to take Cannonier by finish. I'm going to say that, by that 4th round, that damage is just going to be accumulating. And when Caio Borralho can't get the fight to the ground, Cannonier is going to be working that body, working them leg kicks. But Caio Borralho is really, really good, so I'm not going to be crazy shocked if he ends up getting the win, but I don't see him finishing Cannonier anywhere. I don't see him finishing him on the ground. I don't see him finishing him standing. So that if he wins, it's going to be a hard 5-round decision. So I don't know if you want to do minus 200 and something that's going to fight a 5-round hard fought decision against a guy that's on a level he's never seen, that hits harder than anybody's ever seen. Probably has the best takedown defense of anybody in the UFC that he's fought. Even when he fought, Caio fought Makhmud Muradov, man, that was close as heck going back into the 3rd round. It was 1-1 going into the 3rd, and then Mahmoud landed the takedown. It looked like Borralho was a little tired, and he was able to get the reversal, and that's how he got the win. But it's hard for me to fade these old dogs like that, especially someone like Cannonier who's not showed any regression. So, and I think Nasruddin Imavov beats Borralho. If I want to be honest, I think he could beat Caio Borralho. I think Nasruddin's a different level of beast like that. But give me Jared Cannonier. Give me him by finish. I appreciate everybody checking out my video, man. Like it. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the picks, who you got this weekend, what your best bets are, and all that stuff. I did a fight companion for UFC 305. I had like 1,350 people there. Most of them were from Twitter, but we were all hanging out, having a good time. So eventually I'll do some more of them. But appreciate everybody, and I will see. Oh, I'll be dropping my Dana White Contender Series breakdown tomorrow. So look for that. So appreciate everybody watching this and checking it out, man. I will see you guys later.